the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking, live here on JTN. We're so glad you're joining us here tonight as we head down south to the Talladega Superspeedway. 66 laps of racing action. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is Joe Towanski. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, you know him, you love him. He is one of our resident massholes, the one and only Dewey Schramm. Dewey, welcome to Talladega, buddy.
Welcome for me, indeed. One of my favorite tracks on the schedule.
Dewey, bring the energy. Come on, man. Bring the energy.
I have like that subtle excitement right now, but wait till these guys get on track double file. It'll be there. For real. This is one of my favorite tracks on the schedule every year. I've had this one circled on the calendar now for about a month since I knew when things were going to happen. And I cannot wait for this thing tonight.
For the folks at home, Dewey is the broadcaster of, like, you know, obviously Weaver is the other voice of us here on Thursday nights for the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. But Dewey's the guy, he looks at the schedule and he says, I want that race, I want that race, I want this one and that one. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Dewey's he's got some good races. He's some good races in some of our other leagues too. So, but yeah, 66 laps here tonight, Dewey. I mean, it's Talladega. It's a wild card. Not that the last 2 weeks haven't been wild, but we at least have come to expect that here at the Talladega Superspeedway. That kind of befuddlement that I think we've had with the finishes we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, the last 2 races, of course, at Texas and Martinsville have definitely provided some chaotic ends to races. But I think when you show up to a place like Talladega, you kind of have that thought in the back of your head that something weird's going to happen at the end. Like, obviously, I don't think, people really had what happened at Texas happening, but it did. Yep. I don't think people had it at Martinsville, but it did. But here, you kind of know already.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a fun night of racing action, and qualifying's currently underway, folks. You'll see those results start to trickle across the top of your screens at home. Want to say hello to all you out there in chat. See Greg out there. Greg's saying, first off, Greg's got the intro down because Greg's here every Thursday night. He's also Tuesday nights when we're over with Hobo. Sounds like he might have raced on Tuesday over there with our friends at Hobo Racing. Also see Tristan Grace, who of course is like the biggest JTN fan that I know. He supports the Fake Racers podcast, which you at home should do too. We had a good episode this week talking about that thriller from Atlanta. Dewey and I, if we get the opportunity, we'll talk about that later. We'd love to hear your thoughts at home. We'd love you to go over and check out that episode of the Fake Racers podcast and put your thoughts there as well. Also see Jessica Wilson in chat. Jess in chat tonight cheering on KJ. So that's awesome, Jess. Glad to know that you're watching here tonight. I know you're usually watching when KJ's out on track, and I'm sure you'll be cheering your man on out there. Also, of course, as always, the queen of the Bomb Squad Racing League, Mrs. Kathy Voiles here tonight. Of course, going to be cheering on Brian, and I believe Ricky J's here. I don't know. He's here, right? Yeah, he's here. Cheering on those two Voiles trucking Fords. So, again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, and yeah, Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well out there on this Thursday night. Greg, that's awesome. I did my first race in like 3 years over the weekend in iRacing with our friends over at the USORL, so that was interesting. Dewey wasn't there. I thought Dewey would be there, but he wasn't. So that was unfortunate.
I was there in spirit.
You were there in spirit. You're always there in spirit. You're always in my heart. Tristan's saying he's got good news. He met some forestry professor from North Carolina State on Monday. It's a big opportunity, and he couldn't be more excited. Tristan, that is awesome, man. NC State, that was one of the colleges that I was thinking about going to. Visited, got accepted, and visited, and did some different stuff there. I ended up going a different route, but really cool school up there in Raleigh. I'm sure you've been up there, and yeah, you'll like it up there in Raleigh. It's a cool little school, but yeah, Dewey, it's time for happy hour. Are you ready to get happy?
I am already happy.
Oh, he's always happy, folks. Dewey, take us through tonight's starting lineup.
Oh boy, speaking of happy, I know who's happy in here. That is the 91 of DJ Champ, because he is your pole sitter for tonight here at Talladega. He will lead us to the green flag. And to his outside will be Silver Bullet in the 4 with what I believe is his best starting spot of the year. So great job by both of those guys. Zach Rogers rolls off in 3rd, trying to rebound from what was a disappointing end to his race last week. And then Ricky J, who won last week at Martinsville as a result of Zach's disappointment. Rick Craddock will round out the top 5, and to his outside it'll be Steve Grant in the 011. Power Malin trying to end his multi-week cold streak. Don't really say that very often. He'll start in 7th. Brian Voiles, Daytona winner, in 8th, trying to make it 2 for 2 on the plate tracks to start this season. Eli and Randy Waugh returning tonight will round out the top 10. Back in row 6, it'll be Wiley King and Mac Daddy in the 28, with Magoo and Terry Scott back in row 7. Joshua Clements and BSR Miller back in row 8, with Brain Fade and Nelly back in 17th and 18th. KJ and Monty Keller will round out the top 20, with Jimmy Dale and Texas winner Ken Hansen rounding out tonight's 22-car field. So one of the bigger ones we have here this season, and it's a good track to have a bigger field at for sure.
Great track to have a bigger field. I'd always love to see more cars out there in the draft, more energy for these guys to absorb throughout the race. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, click the like button on the video and subscribe. I know I remind you each and every time, but it
Click
does.
the bell.
It helps so much for you to click that button to make sure you're subscribed, to be chatting it up with us. Again, we like talking with you in chat throughout the race as we can, and yeah, see some more stuff in chat. Greg saying he was running out back. Greg, that is always, honestly, if you feel uncomfortable, I always tell guys when they're new or whatnot, hey, it's okay to run towards the back. Do what you're comfortable with. If it was your first time racing in 20 years, that's, man, just to go out there, that's an accomplishment and get it done, man. And finishing is obviously the biggest thing. To answer your question, because he asked how did it go and how to finish, I was running 3rd going into turn 1 on the last lap, Dewey at Daytona, and then the big one hit. And we were caught up in it, but we still finished top 10, so that was my goal, to finish top 10 in that race. We did it. But man, I was getting pushed by I believe one of your teammates and Steven Merzlak there down into turn 1, and Steven had sent me had his spotter talk to my spotter or something along the ways of just go. The one's trying to win, and well, we just went. we almost
went
won.
up into the wall. No.
Well, you know. Tristan, never been to Raleigh. Hey, that's okay. You got to go visit, man. You got to go visit. If you get some time this summer in between job or applications or whatnot. Tristan, I apologize. I don't remember how far away you are from graduating. But yeah, make those connections, man. It's so hard. It is so hard. It is so hard to make those connections. So when you get the opportunity to, please make them, and they'll only serve to kind of help you out as you go.
I'll be visiting Raleigh myself for the first time in May. Very excited for that.
You're not flying down there though, right?
No, I'm driving down there.
Yeah.
But I skirted around Raleigh to get there last time. I'm going to drive through it this time to see what it's all about.
Nice.
And it'll be cool.
Hey, Tristan, maybe you can go see Dewey in Raleigh or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Let's see. John Peralski in chat saying Ayo, hello. Hopefully I said that right. I like to get my my fellow skis. I like to say their names correctly.
I
We're
hope
down-
you got your own figured out.
What?
You're a ski.
That's why I said I like to get my fellow skis. I like to get their
Yeah.
names right because I know the struggle. You know. Not all
I
of us
could
can
spend
have
like
names.
half an hour butchering your name on purpose.
I know. I always tell a story of like growing up. So elementary school, you know, you get called down to the office. Compared to like your other years in school, I think elementary school is probably the most you get called down because you're still young and your parents care about you, so they take you to your doctor's appointments and whatnot. And
Yeah.
but the ladies in the office never got my name right, like my last name, never got it right. Crazy. You go there for 6 years and yeah. Yeah, and Greg also knows what that struggle is with the skis. So
Yeah, I'm sure it was always nice when they'd put on the PA system to get you down there, and so the entire school would hear your name butchered repeatedly.
well, remember, I don't know about you, but in elementary school they just do it right to like your classroom, right? They have a
My school did both.
oh, that sucks.
Because sometimes if they weren't 100% sure where a kid was, like if it was during lunch, they would do it through the entire school.
How do they lose track of you, Dewey?
Carefully, or actually not carefully, but
Weren't careful enough.
I guess. Hopefully these guys are careful because it's play track and they're going to go 3, probably 4 wide tonight. And I think the last thing any of them want is to wad it all up into a corner.
Why would you say that?
Because it's true. We got to get some honesty in here.
Honesty.
Yeah.
How's that song go? Honesty, it's such a lonely word.
It is.
Other stories, Brian Voiles, of course, won the opener at Daytona, our other plate track so far this year. He starts back there in the 8th position here tonight. We're moments away from the command to get engines fired here for the Talladega Superspeedway.
He should get on with it.
Start your engines.
He did, in fact, get on with it as the field roll off of pit road.
We had a small
Pace.
child actually call the command there, Dewey. I don't know why you were being so rude.
Oh, I have a different audio than you do for some reason. I heard, like, a middle-aged guy. Not sure what's up with that.
Kathy. Do you see that? Kathy, that is amazing. Kathy says that's one of the benefits to being a woman. You get to change your last name. I never thought of it like that, Dewey.
Me neither.
Huh. Also hearing about the desks at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. Easy enough for me to say. Huh. Apparently they have spit cup holders. You
Wow.
learn something new every day, or at least at one time they did. I don't know. We're waiting for Tristan to confirm down there on the pit lane. But folks, again, so glad you're joining us here tonight. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm not supposed to say so much, but
The concept of spit cup holders that's really fascinating to me.
Tristan said some do in the fancier building.
I could only wish that the desks in my college had such accommodations and perks like that.
Want to call us to green?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd love to.
Here we go. Handing you the microphone, Dewey. You got this. You got this.
DJ Champ and Silver Bullet on the front row, 66 laps, 22 drivers. One guy is going to take it home. Green flag to find out who it's going to be. We are off and rolling here at Talladega. Pretty even start for both lines there into 1 and 2 as these guys get up to speed and get themselves into a groove here to start the race.
This is where you see that inside line. DJ Champ able to clear the outside. Now he's going to go up there, try to pick up the Forest Silver Bullet. Watch to see how this 91 plays both lines. DJ Champ is the class of the field when it comes to single car speed on these super speedways. Seems like he's always winning the polls at these races. It'll be interesting to see if this 91 can race well enough to where he can get into victory lane here tonight. Zach Rogers looking for second. He's almost clear. A Silver Bullet off of turn 4.
Yeah, and you mentioned playing both lines. That is going to be one of the keys to success here in tonight's race, is determining when the bigger pushes are coming from each line and going up there and to block them to keep yourself up into the front. Obviously, you probably won't see as much of that on lap 2, for example, but when we get down to under 10 laps to go, there are probably going to be blocks thrown all over the place by these guys, trying to slow up as much momentum as they can. So we'll have to see who ends up being best at it, who can survive all of the potential carnage to take home the dub. Now, I will not be advocating for that, but it is Talladega, so
Yeah, you can advocate
keep in
for
mind
it.
that it is possible.
Advocate for it. Who cares? We're having fun tonight, Dewey.
Yeah, but if we advocate for it and then it happens, then the people who are watching aren't having fun.
Well,
Then we're having fun at someone else's expense, and that's not very cool.
you ever got laughed at as a kid?
Oh, I did.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I did.
Bill's character or something down the back straightaway.
Something like that. Looks like they're all going to go single file up top, at least up at the front, as you see Zach Rogers in the 5 move up there to file in and fit. So it's now Rick Craddock in the 22 leading that bottom side with Tower Mallon and Randy Waugh. But I would imagine here over the next couple of laps, we'll probably see more and more of these guys jump up top and maybe take it easy for a bit.
Boyle's bucking the trend there. He drops to the bottom in the 68. He'll try to lead that line to the inside of Zach Rogers.
Yeah, why go with what I say when they can go and do the complete opposite less than 10 seconds later?
They like to do that. I'm telling you.
They do.
I'm telling you, half these drivers, if not all of them, are listening to us right now.
Like, how can we mess with them tonight?
Yeah. Ooh, Furco, or not Furco, DJ Champ. I see Furco in chat. Hi, Furco. He was talking about pretzel pizza and popcorn and cherry Coke, and he's got me all kinds of confused right now, Dewey.
Well, these guys are trying to share a draft with each other as Mac Daddy jumps down behind Brian Boyles as well. So the 68 and the 28, now the top 2 on the low side.
They're about to be the only 2 down there.
Oh, Zach Rogers just got the nose above Steve Grant there briefly. Thought he was going to take it up there. Probably a wise decision that he didn't. Got a couple of guys here that have either lost the draft or are in danger of it. Looks like Wiley King has lost the draft in the 095. Ken Hansen and Jimmy Dale trying to hang on to it here.
And it's hard to hang on when they get single file. So if you're those guys right now, you said Hansen and Jimmy Dale, Dewey, they're hoping that we get some more side-by-side action. But the last car in line always has problems with keeping up.
I think Jimmy Dale will be able to keep in it for now, but I'd be a little bit worried if I was Ken Hansen in the 9. Of course, looking back to Wiley King, you're already seeing about a 10 or 12 mile per hour difference on the straights and in the corners. So once you lose the draft, you're going to start losing a lot more time, a lot faster. So I think that 095 is likely going to need a caution to get himself back up with the field. Hopefully not too long of a night for him, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles at these kinds of tracks.
You
Power
like it?
Mountain looks to have fallen to the back in the 18, running looks like 17th right now, just taking it nice and easy in the back.
And points leader by 20 over Zach Rogers.
And of course, Talladega presents a wide range of strategies. Some guys, like maybe DJ Champ or Silver Bullet, you're going to see want to stay up front all night, rack up the laps led and the bonus points and all of that. And then maybe some guys, obviously like Tyler so far, are just knowing that they're in a good point situation, don't want to get anything or involved in anything early, just kind of hang out in the back until later on in the race and try to methodically work their way up when the time is right. That's the strategy I like to use at plate tracks, because I find you have a higher chance of missing the wrecks that happen in the early and middle portions. But it can get a little risky, because if a wreck happens late and it ends under caution, well, you're stuck back there anyway.
Right. Ryan Voiles trying to slip up in front of Randy Waugh, who's in that Alabama 21 Dodge. They got a new head coach down there for the Tide next year after Saban retired, and
I still can't believe that happened.
I still can't believe Michigan sent Nick Saban into retirement, man. That was, wow. Let me tell you, that week there between the start of the Rose Bowl and the end of the national championship game, what an amazing week. Anyways.
Yeah, it was the last year of the car yesterday. The Gen 4s was Saban's first year at Alabama.
We went through 3 generations of cars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hell of a career for Mr. Saban. So I will enjoy him very much on College Game Day.
Oh yeah, it'll be good.
I am looking forward to that.
It's going to be very good. Voiles currently leading that inside line now. Took Randy Waugh with him. Ryan's not afraid to try to make up some ground right now. Zach Rogers now ducking to the bottom. Rick Craddock going to go with him, it looks like. Now he thinks wiser of it. Jumps back into the outside line behind the 011 of Steve Grant. Zach Rogers has a little bit of energy behind him now. Can he get to the lead, Dewey?
I think he's got a decent chance. He's got a full head of steam as Terry Scott in the 66 makes it another car on the bottom. So we thought maybe they'd run up high for a bit and just get some laps down, but now that bottom groove is looking pretty formidable, and Brian's going to take 3 wide into 1. And that's going to leave Zach Rogers all alone unless he can find a gap on the top.
Yeah, I don't think
Grant to let him in. Oh my, that was close.
I might have been a little too early for that move. Might have been a little too early.
I wasn't sure if Steve was trying to let him in or if Zach just kind of forced himself there, but either way, he made it work as Randy Waugh taking a peek now, potentially underneath that 68.
How critical is it to kind of always keep your nose maybe half a car width lower than the car in front of you?
Extremely critical, actually. If you keep yourself tucked in behind the car behind you too long and you don't have enough air in there, it can cause the engine to overheat and blow up, and that is certainly something you do not want to have happen.
Wow.
As we got to pass for the lead here in 1 and 2. Silver Bullet and Ricky J go to the low side underneath the 91 of DJ Champ, and we've got our first lead change of the night, and it's the 4 car to the point. Yeah, the last thing you want here, for sure, is an engine failure.
Thanks, Dewey, for reminding us that air exists.
No problem. Glad I could be of help. Hey, you asked, so...
Yeah, I was more so getting at the fact, if you're about half a car, and I always like to do this, I never like to be right on the bumper of a guy until, like, you know what I mean? Like, square with him, or you know what I mean? Locked on that bumper.
Oh,
until probably 10 laps to go, when really you got to start pushing, and the pushes are going to get a little heavier. Just because I like to be able to see in front of the guy I'm in front of, because it's hard to see through him.
That is true.
So I'm a big, hey, I'm going to offset myself just a little bit so I can see. And then also not be right on your bumper. But right now these guys at the front, they don't really, well, they're kind of offset, but they're not buying too hard to my strategy.
So we can clear it up by saying if you're going to push somebody, you definitely want to be square with the bumper of the car in front of you. But if you're not going to push, not a bad idea to tuck a little bit under and just get some air going.
Well, and you can push if you're offset to the right of the guy. With the way that these cars,
though.
Yeah, like you're not. I mean, you're not hammering them. But you can. It's a skill. Not everyone can do it. You know. Not everyone's as good as I
That's
am.
something I don't really do in desperation mode, honestly.
What,
That's a
the
personal
off-center
preference.
bumping?
Yeah.
Nah, man, it's not even desperation. It's... When we see the end of this race, the guys that are going to be up front doing, I'm telling you, they're going to be the ones that are able to do that off-center bumping because, one, I think it's more effective sometimes. And two, it means that they're more comfortable with getting close to the guy through the corners. Right now, you're seeing everyone being really gentlemanlike and giving each other room through the corners, you know, and then they close back up on exit and playing really nice. You're not going to see that with 10 laps to go. You're not going to see that with maybe even 15 laps to go or after we make that final pit stop. It's all going to...
Well,
The lid will pop off, you know, will boil over. The pot will boil over at some point here tonight. Right now they're playing nice. Pit stop's upcoming, probably about four laps or so.
you're looking at about a 3-stopper tonight.
Yep.
Oh, Zach Rogers
man!
is up in the wall. He keeps it straight. Everybody else
What
trying
the-
to keep it straight as well, and that could have been really bad.
That should have been really bad.
Yeah.
That's your moment where it's like, oh, the big one should have happened there.
Absolutely.
Heck of a drive.
Yeah, great job by everybody there. And honestly, if there's any damage to that 5 car, it might only be cosmetic. Doesn't look too beat up at all. And now everybody saw that and said, all right, we're all going single file now.
We're going to be pitting is what this is.
Danger detected.
Danger, danger, danger. Burko says no skill. I mean, it was Zach, so...
But just like that, we were 2 by 2 about 10 rows deep, and now we're single file all the way through the field. Except for, looks like Nelly and Miller here. But definitely looking again at pit stops here pretty soon, and hopefully these guys got some practice in getting down onto pit road, because the last thing you want to do is overshoot and either hit the guy in front of you or lock up your tires or speed or some combination of the three.
Dude, I always like trying to save a lap of fuel so I could go a lap further. Even if it meant that I didn't have great track position after the pit stop, I just liked having that factor of safety built into when I pit. Did you ever do something like that? Did you try to maybe pit a lap before the majority of cars, or are you always just, well, if everyone else jumps off the bridge, I'm going to jump with them?
I usually pit with the majority, knowing that, unless something really dumb happens, whether it's by me or somebody else, I will still be with the majority of the field. So at that point, if I'm low on fuel, chances are everybody else is too.
I'm a lone wolf, Dewey. I'm a lone wolf. Oh, oh, oh!
Are you now?
I think that's about the cringiest thing I've ever done on a broadcast, right there.
Make a tier maker of that.
We could.
Rank the cringe broadcast moments.
Cringe broadcast moments.
That one might be S tier. Got some guys in the chat indicating that they're going to be coming into pit this time. Silver Bullet, our leader, is one of them.
Yeah, and he's been...
But we're double file, though, so we might not see everybody come in this time.
Yeah.
So pit stop number 1 of the night. The 4 is in.
Comes
Steve
11.
comes with him. Steve Grant. Oh, the 86 is flying through there, and oh my gosh. He got it into the
Miller,
back of the 4 and went
Oh,
shooting
stay off the
through
track,
infield.
stay off the track, stay off the track. Get going, get going. No caution.
Oh my, he absolutely flew in there. Just think he broke or put the brakes on a tad too late there.
A tad?
Yeah.
You think?
That could have been so much worse for Silver Bullet, though. My gosh. Got a little bit of contact, but...
Look where this 86 comes, like, look at this. And he just gets through. That was a terrible replay job by me. Watch the 86, just, here he comes.
Here comes most of the rest of the field for their pit stops. Oh, Randy Waz into the inside wall, no! And Ricky J's collected in it. So more issues here on pit road. The 21 gets it going, and he might be able to exit the pits with the pack, but I don't know if the same can be said for that 93. So another couple of guys just came in too hot, and 21 paying the price for it there, unfortunately.
And for Ricky J, that's just bad luck because he looked to have been clear as we link up with Silver Bullet in this 4-car. Miller now back down on pit lane.
Yeah, I think when the 21 downshifted, it locked it up and into the inside wall he went, and nowhere for the 93 to go as a result. I think the 21 at a longer pit stop may be repairing some damage, so he is going to be out of the draft here. Ricky J as well. So it looks like a very spread out field, at least right now, but over the next handful of laps, they should start to scrunch back together.
Scrunch.
Yeah.
The Silver Bullet lost a lot of time. Ryan Voiles was able to get off of pit lane first, but he is serving a penalty. Here comes the 68 back down pit lane. Joshua Clements now will take over the lead, excuse me.
Perry Scott and Jimmy Dale coming down pit road as well. Not sure if those are scheduled stops or
those are penalties.
Passengers. They're on pit road regardless.
Regardless. Do you like that word?
A good word.
It is a good word.
Yeah, Silver Bullet was, of course, the leader. As Magoo is slow in the middle of the track, everybody avoids him.
Slow, like he's blowing up, or?
I am not sure. Oh, he got loose in the middle of turns 1 and 2 and had to save it, and so he was a little slower than the pack while gathering it up. And then that group of 4 caught him out at 2 and had to find their way around him. But yeah, Silver Bullet was the leader when this cycle started. He's now back in 9th. And there's a real just weird mass of cars just spread out all over the place. And the 86 has also taken it behind the wall and has retired from the race. So tough end of the day for Miller there in the 86. 21 cars left out on track. So Malin right now is the leader. Rogers, Clements, and KJ 2nd through 4th. So this is your lead group right here coming across the stripe. Nelly trying to hold on in 5th, and then the next group of 5 behind them. There's 1 through 10 through about 2 corners. Very action-packed pit cycle there.
Action-packed, you say?
Definitely.
What do you mean by that?
Well, a lot happened.
Well, it's strung out this field too. I think that's a critical point to make here. This
For sure.
field that's gotten strung out.
Yeah, 1 pack of 5, another pack of 5 right behind it that
Catching.
is catching fast and should become a pack of 10. And then everybody else is just kind of on their own. Got like, looks like a pack of 4 going into turn 1. That's 11th through 14th.
It's led by Ricky J.
Wiley King by himself in the trial. Got a pack of 3 at pit entrance here.
Led
And
by
looks like
Brian
Terry
Voiles.
Scott, Jimmy Dale running on their own. They're going to need a caution here.
As we're getting racy in this lead pack of 10.
Looks like Ken Hansen lost it, so I think we're down to 9, but 9 is still greater than 5, so should see a lot more happening here than you were a lap ago.
This is where these drivers get a little complacent too, Dewey, I've noticed.
A little bit.
Why is that?
Well, they kind of all bunch together, and they got to figure out where to go with the runs and everything, and it gets a little weird. the inside wall. They're all wrecking. 6 of them all down on the inside wall. Clements, Craddock, Rainfade, Monty Keller, Zach Rogers, Silver Bullet. And just like that, the big one strikes, and it's the main pack of leaders. Caution number 1 of the night. And it's almost fitting that Tower Malin was the one that missed it.
Just driving away from the store.
That was a huge wreck.
Remember that clip off the back of Ross Chastain at the 500? And
Yeah, it was basically that, but again.
Here you see it off the back bumper of the 18.
That was a lot of cars.
Now off the roof of Nelly in the 103.
That was a great avoidance there by the 103. Watching all those cars just pile up ahead of him.
So as we go from our helicopter cam, it looks the contact's going to come between Craddock in the 22 and Clements in the 92. Go slow-mo here so you can see it. We talked about those bumps being off-center, Dewey. This is a little too far from the 22. He turns the 92 up into traffic into the 029, and then it's on from there. And look at Zach Rogers. Oh, my goodness. What a hit.
That 5, I think he might be done for the evening. 22 got some air a couple times, got hit by the 4, and hit the end of that wall very hard as well, and got hit again by Monty Keller. So I think a couple of cars involved might be able to fix this and keep it going, but I don't think Zach Rogers' night's going to continue much longer.
And if it does, he's out there points racing at this point.
Exactly. This is going to be his first drop race of the year, I'm sure of it. Yeah, big hit for the 5, big hit to the rear for the 92, big hit to the side for the 22. A lot of damage spread out across these guys, and
got a helmet cam here with KJ.
that's the big one that these guys fear, though, when they race like that. They all bunched up back together, and well, that's what happens.
Helmet cam with driver of the 029, BSR Kilojoules.
Yeah, and he had no idea this was coming at all.
Mm-mm.
Just running up on the top, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you get a door full of a purple 92 car, and you're seeing guys flying all over the place everywhere.
So as we're back live, working our first caution of the night, it's a good time to remind you folks, next week it's Infineon Week here on JTN as the Bomb Squad Racing League heads west to the Infineon Raceway. Truck Series action Wednesday night. Cup Series action, of course, is always on Thursday night here live on JTN. And then Xfinity Series action Friday night live right here only on JTN. Those 3 races, your next 3 races up here as we enter March. It's Leap Day, Dewey. What's got you leaping for joy today?
Being on this broadcast, definitely.
Wow. What a suck-up.
Our first ever Leap Day broadcast here at JTN.
You were very happy to hear that.
I was.
You were like, wait, you guys haven't done it? And I was like, no, Dewey, we started JTN after COVID.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. This video probably just got demonetized now that I thought about it.
Unbelievable.
But yeah. So it's pretty interesting. We of course started with our friends over at Fast doing some Dash Series races, the old TDR League. As well, we did some broadcasts with them and our friend Phil Lacasse, and
did almost a full USRL Cup season too.
Tristan, this is Dewey in the booth, not Ricky. What the heck?
It's alright, he got his mass holes mixed up.
Oh my
That happens
goodness,
sometimes.
Tristan, that's just wow. Dewey Schramm in the booth tonight. Look at that. It says it right there. Dewey Schramm.
Hi. It me. You got your little info box.
Dewey
there,
Ricky
yeah.
same guy, he says. I mean, the guy who isn't Joe. That's real, man.
No, the other one.
That's real. That's real. That's when you know that you're at least like associated with something, when it's like, oh yeah, the other guy. No,
Yeah.
not him, but the other guy. Who's that?
I have a name.
Yeah, but two other people have the same name.
That's true.
Oh,
That be happening.
that do be happening. Magoo's out in front, leading some laps here in the 144.
Yeah, I think that little moment he had right before the wreck when he got a little loose ended up being for the betterment of his race, because I think if that hadn't happened, he would have been up in that main group when they all got into each other.
Yeah.
So perhaps a blessing in disguise there for the 144 machine. He'll come down pit road and get some more fuel in that thing. Looks like he'll be joined by almost everybody else. Looks like they'll come down to top off here.
Yeah, we're at a weird spot in this race.
Which will also, if this is one to go, give us a mostly single file restart. Oh, we have those anyway. Got my leagues mixed up.
Yeah, what were you talking? Who are you?
Hey, we had double file restarts in USORL. And anytime people topped off a one to go, they all started in the back single file.
That confused the heck out of me Saturday night when that happened the first time. I was like, why am I single file back here? And they're like, oh,
yeah,
well,
that's how they did it there, and yeah, I got my little leagues in a twist.
confused the heck out of me.
Looks like it'll be Ricky J leading us to the green. I think. AJ and Silver Bullet, who was just in that wreck, but it doesn't look like he got a bunch of damage. Looks like he made it out alright. Unrelated to the incident, Steve Grant had a camshaft issue that's taken him out of the race as well. So we are down to 20 cars left for the remainder of the night. Zach Rogers actually got that damage fixed up pretty well, all things considered. The front of that thing was pretty beat in, and his crew did a really nice job of getting it all patched up and back out there looking spiffy as it was before.
We'll see how good it is, though.
Yeah, that thing still might be down on power, despite looking okay. We'll have
Yeah.
to see.
It's kind of like when you're buddies and you're out, you're out doing stuff and you can tell one guy's kind of fading. He's fading fast. Yeah, it's like that. A little down on power,
Just a little bit. Pace car is in. Ken Hansen, DJ Champ, Zach Rogers leading us back to the green.
And back away we go. Green flag once again here from Talladega.
So,
DJ
something-
Champ's just going to get out of line.
oh, go ahead.
That's it. That was all I had.
Oh. So, something I've noticed is we just went, I think, 16, 17 laps on that
Yep.
initial cycle. So, if they go green to the end here, that would leave their second stop on or about lap 46, which would leave them about 3 laps short to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if that happens, we could potentially see some guys try to fuel save hard, or we could see a situation where a majority of the field has to pit with 3 laps to go.
Dewey, if it's only 3 laps, I raise you this. Why not save some fuel now and save some fuel later? That means you only have to save about a lap and a half or 2 laps on one run and a lap and a half or 2 laps on the second run.
Yeah, definitely a possibility here. We might see some guys try to split it up, and if you could save a little bit now, that might result in you being able to pit a couple laps later on this first run, which will get you closer to the end. Definitely some options on the table.
The other thing too, as Zach Rogers just destroyed the wall off of turn
Yeah, that
2.
wasn't. Yeah.
Wow. But hopefully he doesn't have a concussion.
I think Terry Scott moved up there, and he didn't know the 5 was there.
They treat you differently when you're down on power, you know?
Yeah, his race has gone
Bad.
very south very quickly.
Bad. Just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you could maybe see a situation where maybe some guys decide to pit a little earlier than they need to. Maybe some people pit with around 10 laps to go.
Mm-hmm.
And try to leapfrog those that might stay out a bit longer.
The one thing, though, that we have here, Dewey, is this race could end under caution.
That is true.
And we've seen races on these super speedways end under caution. So it's another thing to consider. I would just try to stay out as long as possible. If I can save a lap or two here, I'm going to. I usually, like I was talking about earlier before that pit stop, that's usually my MO on the super speedways, is try to save some fuel and get an extra lap or so in the tank in the reserve. But
I mean,
yeah,
any decision you make as it pertains to this is going to have an inherent risk to it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's just risk calculation and figuring out which one you think has the smallest downside to it. Like, if something bad happens while I'm employing this strategy, which one will screw me over the most? And that's the one I'd typically go with. We'll see what all of these guys elect to do. Nelly gonna take it 3 up at the top here.
no help.
Yeah, kind of up there on his own. Should
there's
file
help.
right back in, I think. Or is Mac Daddy gonna go with him up top? I think he's still thinking about it. Okay, maybe not anymore.
Kristen, welcome back. Yeah, what the heck? Pound the like button. If you haven't hit it yet, hit it.
Oh, and around goes Eli in the middle of the pack up
That's
top.
not what I meant.
Ken Hansen a bit slow there in the 114. That will bring out the caution once again here on lap 33.
It's like contact off the front of Nelly's bumper.
I believe so. That was very
Maybe
sudden.
some bumper grab off the back of the 4?
What the? I'm looking at it from the helicopter view. He went around without ever being touched.
That's internet.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be a connection issue on someone's end there.
Can't tell you who.
Yeah, they were all racing fine, and then all of a sudden that 114's halfway around before you even know it hit him, so... Tough break there for Eli, who had been having a really great night so far, but doesn't look like the damage is that bad. Good break for Zach Rogers, who we saw hit the wall a few laps ago and lost the pack.
Remember all that fuel crunching and number crunching we were doing there?
Yeah, just throw all that out the window.
Yeah,
We
none of
talk
it
about all that
matters
for
now. We
literally
can make it
nothing.
on one stop.
Yeah,
Nothing matters.
unbelievable.
Nothing we do matters. Life is pointless. Anyways, on a happier note. Dude, what'd you think of that Atlanta race over the weekend? Cup race. Not the Xfinity and the truck race, because those were
phenomenal.
bad. Yeah?
It was also a great change of pace from the absolute dud that was the Xfinity race the night before.
Yeah, that race, I'm not a big fan of guys just saving fuel, you know?
I have to be honest, though, it was kind of funny seeing the 39 car stopped right at the entrance of pit road and just having everybody be mad at him.
I thought it was funny that all the Fords ran out.
Yeah, like they all tried the same thing and they all whiffed.
Also, the 39 didn't run out of fuel at the entrance of pit lane.
And he limped it around and just stopped. And
At 45 mile per hour pit road, he ran out of fuel. But at 90 mile per hour pit road, he made it. So, get your facts right.
that is such a weird pit road. Definitely probably the most unique one where
Yeah.
really the only pit road where there's two distinct speed
Oh,
zones that
DJ
are
Champ just overshot his box.
not great there for the 91. Looks like a lot of fuel-only stops here. 18 in the 68, first two off the pit lane.
Yeah, no need to take tires.
Unless you're Eli and after that spin.
Well, okay.
He probably is, but...
Wow, you named the one guy.
Well, yeah. So we hit the halfway point pacing last lap. So... Indeed, we shall make it on one more stop from here, cautions or not. Because like we said earlier, that, you know, once we spend like 5 minutes talking about something, their main prerogative becomes making it completely obsolete and just unusable and irrelevant. And they've done that now. And I think that's great. It's like some extra added motivation in here just to make us all sound like morons up here.
Yeah, they always do.
It's all good. So checking in on those involved in the big one, Monte Keller looks to be okay. Doesn't look like he got too much damage. Back of that 92 car is not doing too great. Nelly looks to be fine. Of course, was just running up there with Eli. Zach's car is has definitely seen better days.
Oh, it's seen days.
It has. It's seen a lot. Silverbolt looks pretty good, obviously up there in the top 5, and Rick Craddock did retire after that wreck, so 19 left out on the racetrack, and Wiley King got his lap back under the previous yellow as well. So all 19 left are on the lead lap.
The lead lap.
Yeah.
The lead lap. 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 The lead lap.
The lead lap.
What else is going on in the world right now? Tristan, what the hell? I can't read that. Dewey, you'll have to look at it for yourself. Can't read that out loud.
Ah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Good for you, I guess? Tristan? I didn't know how that's how you did that.
Oh, you do now. Yes.
Did you see it yet?
I
Go
did.
and read it? That's incredible.
That's incredible.
I tell you what.
Need a little soundboard for stuff like that on here.
Need a Kyle Petty incredible.
Yeah.
What about Jeff Gordon? Look at this! Oh, I hated that one.
Got the 1 to green. We'll have 29 laps to go when they come back around. We saw Tyler late towards the back at the beginning of the race. ended up at the front of that pack that wrecked earlier, and now leads again. So definitely a change of pace from what we saw earlier from that 18 machine. Brian Boyle sitting second in a pretty good spot to try to go 2 for 2 on the super speedways here this year.
Big boy tracks.
Indeed. Of course, they run the old Atlanta, so we got only 4 and not 6. Silver Bullet third. Great night for him so far, besides the
Yeah.
wreck earlier.
Yeah.
And Brain, who was involved in that wreck too, has recovered very nicely, sitting up there in 4th.
Yeah, what do you
And-
make of it?
Yeah. And Ricky J, of course, won last week at Martinsville after everything that happened in the last 10 laps of that one.
Yeah.
Trying to go 2 in a row overall here this season.
Pow, pow, pow.
A lot of good names up here. And then Wiley King in 6th, who
Lost the
spent
draft.
over half this race a lap down.
Yeah.
So a lot of good stuff going on. Mac Daddy, Randy Waugh recovered nicely as well after hitting the retaining wall coming to pit road earlier. And all 19 cars out here on the lead lap, so anybody can still take this thing.
Here we go. Tyler Mallon with control. Green flag, 38-66 here from Talladega. And there goes Silver Bullet already looking to the inside. He's going to have help from Brain Fade, who jumps down there. Ricky J going to have to try to suck up to the back of his teammate, team owner. Boyles clears down now in front of the 4. Mallon goes with him. They are single file as we get ready to head down the back straight away.
Yeah, the 4 and the 49 wasted no time pulling out a line, and then the 18 and the 68 said, I don't think so, and went down there and blocked it before they can get any momentum built up. And now the 91 is down there on his own trying to side draft up to the lead, and he's gotten up to 4th, and now he's got some help from Mac Daddy and Wiley King. So just like that, our pole sitter might find himself right back up in the lead here in a minute.
Yeah, McDaddy has been one of the drivers not afraid to jump down into that inside line. See Randy Wall over the back bumper of BSR Kilojoules. KJ there in the 029 on the bottom now as well. Wiley King, of course, up in the mix there in the 095. But right now, it's a battle for the lead between DJ Champ and Tyler Mallon. Heading through turns 1 and 2. Mallon on the outside, your points leader. DJ Champ, your pole sitter here tonight, looking to retake his lead and at least re-establish it as they head down the back.
Yeah, it's a dead heat right now between those two down the backstretch and between these two lines in general. Maybe trying to one-up the photo finish that we had for real at Atlanta a couple of days ago.
If we could one-up that, that would be amazing. I doubt it, but that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that genuinely is like one of the greatest finishes in motorsports history. It's going to be really hard to top that one.
We're going to try, though. Side by side here through the tri-oval. DJ Champ on the bottom. Push coming to the back of the 18. 91 leads that lap, though, as they're still side by side here heading into turn 1.
So for anybody that's curious and thought the 91 and the 18 were super, super close that time at the stripe, the gap there was 7 1/1000ths of a second. So the gap between Daniel Suarez and Ryan Blaney was half of that on Sunday. Razor thin margins here.
Razor thin.
Razor thin.
Razor. You got a good razor?
I do. And actually 7 1/1000ths was the gap from first to third in that race.
Yes.
So, close quarters. Still, outside line prevailing at the line for now. The inside line does have quite a few cars in it, though, now, looking back towards the 92 here into 1. So it's got the numbers it didn't have a couple of laps ago, but interesting to see the outside still pull ahead a little bit. Kind of ebbs and it flows.
It's alive. The pack's alive. It's got energy about it, right?
It is. Of course,
It's
all these guys are
alive.
going to have to go down to single file again at some point, since they do have to pit one more time. but
You
that
know.
is not for another
Dewey, we got
probably 12 or so laps.
Yeah, why are you worrying about that now? We got time.
Well, you got to keep it in the back of your head.
Nah.
Got to strategize. And
There was a
plan it all
joke
out.
there that I wanted to make, Dewey. I didn't, but there was a joke there.
I appreciate it.
We need to
So
crank
we
it
were
up.
wondering if the 5 is down on power. Short answer, yes.
What's the long answer?
Extremely yes.
Um,
He's about, looks like 15, 16 miles per hour slower than these guys are. So it's, I think at this point, the only hope that Zach really has at getting a decent finish is if they make
More
it to the white
crashes.
under green and they all wreck, and he can just try to pass the guys that wreck.
Oh, more crashes and guys to fall out of this race, but at the rate he's going, he's going to probably go down a lap here in 3 laps.
Probably.
So,
Yeah, safe to say this will be the 5's first drop race of the year. And it was running really well earlier, but obviously this has quickly turned into a night to forget for him.
Miller in the 86, Rick Craddock in the 22, and the 011 of Steve Grant have all retired from this race. It's only 3 retirees so far, so still 20 cars out on track, 19 in this lead draft.
Yeah, of course, Craddock, one of those involved in the big wreck on lap 20-something.
23, 22.
Steve Grant with a camshaft issue, and Miller, who we saw go flying into pit road there, and almost take Silver Bullet out of this thing, but split about the only gap he had, and thankfully got it. But unfortunately cost himself a lot of time in the process, and inevitably his race.
Todd McDaniel.
So that is how those 3 are out, but 19 strong, well, 18 strong cars, and 1 down on power car. Still out there, though. And they're all bunched up.
Greg, they get to drop 3 races in this series, so their 3 worst finishes will be dropped. The Todd in chat saying, I just installed NR2003 yesterday. So good. Heck yeah. And you're at a pretty good place if you want to find a league to race with. Here in NR2003, we got a bunch of great leagues that we broadcast live right here on JTN, Todd. So encourage you once you feel like you're up to speed and if you want to get out there on the virtual track with some other drivers that are still doing it. We always have our league, the websites where you can sign up down in the video descriptions below.
Obviously, the number of leagues, not what it used to be, but the fact that there are still this many on a game that's over 2 decades old.
And remember, the best ones are only on JTN, too, by the way.
True. Very, very true. But it's still insane that you could still race online like this on a game that is literally over 2 decades old.
Mm-hmm.
That has withstood the test of time.
I mean, this game, the joke has been this game's, can drink, right?
It can. It was able to vote a couple of years ago, and now it can go to a bar and buy itself a Jack and Coke if it wants to.
Is that your go-to drink, Dewey?
Absolutely it is.
Wow.
That wasn't a shameless plug or anything. Definitely not.
I don't blame you. Those are good.
Jack and Coke is where it is.
It's pretty good. Kind of expensive to get going out. Make it yourself,
That's why you buy a big bottle of Jack and keep it in your liquor cabinet, and it'll last you like 6 months.
Yeah. Don't do that, kids, unless you're an adult.
Yeah. If you're 16, no.
Okay, well I don't.
What?
JTN does not condone underage drinking.
No, it does not. No, we will not support that.
Mac Daddy prefers Evan Williams. I'll give him that.
Everybody's got their type.
I've never had Evan Williams though.
I have not either.
I'm not a big liquor guy.
I definitely prefer liquor or some liquor over just regular beer.
Ugh.
Tequila is the exception.
Un-American.
Every tequila I've had is disgusting.
Un-American. You had the Rocks tequila?
I've not had that one.
Have you had Cabo Wabo?
I have not had that one.
Man, you're not a supporter of the Cabo Wabo Tequila 250 at the Michigan International Speedway?
It's a funny name, though.
It's a freaking hilarious name.
Gabo Wabo.
Be honest, Dewey, you just buy it for the bag. Is that true? Is that true, Dewey? Kathy wants to know.
Buy what for the bag?
I don't know. The alcohol? Does Jack come in a bag? Like the nice bottles?
The one I bought didn't. I just go to the liquor store and I buy it, and they put it in a paper bag for me to take home.
Oh. So you just buy it for the brown paper bag?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Crown Royal is the one that comes with a nice felt purple bag.
Yeah, those bags are nice. This racing we've got, pretty nice too. Coming up here.
Dewey, this is the we know we have to pit one more time racing that we talked about earlier, right?
It could be worse, for sure.
Oh, I'm not. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Like,
We're on the low end, though, of our window here. So if you pit now, you're good. But obviously, looks like these guys will stay out at least one more time, maybe two. I think we'll see less split up with this round of stops compared to the one earlier.
Yeah, we're in the window to make it to the end too, so anytime you pit, you can make it to the end of this race.
The 92 looks like he just came off pit road on his own, though.
He's got some damage, though.
Yeah, he had damage from the wreck, but maybe he went around somewhere else? He might have just lost the draft, honestly.
From the damage.
I think he did.
Womp 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 womp.
Yeah, I didn't think he ever hit the front end of that car very hard, but obviously you can see the rear end is... That thing's going to the racing warehouse when this event's over.
That is a shameless plug.
I have no connection to them.
But if the racing warehouse would like to sponsor us, or give me some sheet metal to hang in my office.
That would be cool, though.
That would be pretty cool. I don't know how my roomie would feel about it, but, you know.
That's a problem you can deal with later.
Exactly. I'll have a cool piece of sheet metal.
Yeah.
Preferably Eric Jones or Brad Keselowski, but any will do.
Sheet metal is sheet metal.
Exactly. I got a fender off of a Juan Pablo Montoya Target car.
91's coming in on his own. That's a good car.
It's also off of, do you remember in 2011 or 2012 the Casey Kane Mark Martin Montoya wreck at Michigan?
I do, when Mark Martin speared the pit wall.
It's off of that Montoya car. I think.
That is still one of the weirdest wrecks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And also, it could have been very, very bad.
Yeah.
Like, he hits that wall like 6 inches further to the right and,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the 91, I'm not sure why he came in when he did, but it's a 4-tire in fuel stop, and he's all by himself. So I'm not really sure.
He's fast, but he's not that fast, right, Dewey?
Yeah, Wiley King comes in the 095 on his own. Monty Keller coming in behind him. Yeah, I don't understand the call there on the box for DJ Champ, as he's now a lap down by himself, and he's going to need some help to get back in this.
Spotlight Magoo here in the 144 running fourth. Haven't said his name enough here this season. He's looking for a strong run here tonight. He's got one going so far. Comes Mac Daddy down pit lane. Gonna take a pack of cars with him.
Yeah, 49. Oh, Randy Waugh out in the grass. Saw the issue he had earlier running into the wall, and Hopefully he didn't speed, or hopefully he doesn't get unsafe pit entry here, because if that's an unsafe entry since he was in the grass, that's going to be a 30-second hold, and it's going to end his night. So hopefully that didn't just happen.
Just like, there's, oh man. Can I
Silver
say
bullet. What?
Just like when Jalen Milroe took a low snap, it ended Nick Saban's career.
Oh, man.
Got him. Haha.
Oh, man.
Listen, just let me have this one.
Rest of the field coming in, except for, I don't know, Magoo and Nelly are coming in. They're coming in a bit hot, but they're coming in.
Get in there.
And they make it.
That's going to be close.
Hopefully none of them sped. Randy Waugh did not get a 30-second hold. He exited with those he pit with.
You might have to come back around.
Yeah, hopefully none of these guys got caught speeding, but those eyes in the skies are very good at knowing when they push the limits there.
Tristan, that's a good question. Dewey, while I think of my answer, I'm going to let you answer. Is race off pit road. NCAA 25 comes out. What team are you using?
Definitely my hometown team, Boston College.
Fair one.
We are so back.
Tristan, if I can't
Bill O'Brien
use...
will lead us to the promised land. And by Bill O'Brien, I mean me throwing 5 touchdowns and 4 picks every game.
Tristan, if I can't pick Michigan... That's tough.
Well, you were very close to going to Clemson, weren't you?
I was. That'd be a good one. Playing the new ACC.
Yeah, the
monstrosity.
SMU, Cal, Stanford ACC.
Monstrosity of a conference. Closing in on 10 laps to go.
You could also play as UMass, because they're going to be in the MAC now again, like they were 10 years ago.
I've done a UMass. I did a UMass Dynasty before when they were in the MAC. From the original game, or from, not the original, but the last game.
Return of the MAC.
I'm excited for the CMU UMass game. That'll be good.
Absolutely.
Don't say what it says. Don't say it.
For reasons we will not delve into. Or
Greg
the Ball
says gotta
State
go with Georgia. Greg, listen. The only team I'll play on easy mode with is Michigan. But if you're rebuilding a team, you can't pick the big boys.
Well, you can't rebuild the team that's already built.
Yeah. That's all the fun. Welcome in, Angie.
So, we did have some shuffling for position.
Yeah, Magoo's leading.
Yeah, as a result of those pit
Let's
stops,
go.
we've got Magoo up at the front. Here, coming to 10 to go. I'm not sure when the last time he led a race was under green, but it is now right now. And he's got a great chance to maybe steal this thing away if he can hold off for the next 10 laps. Either way, a fantastic night for that 144, and if then ends up being a commentator jinx, I will feel absolutely terrible.
And start feeling terrible. You just know.
I gotta preempt the terribleness. I apologize in advance.
And
Got a pack of 5 up here, though. KJ trying to stay in it there in the 029. Got a pack of 4 passing pit entrance. Jimmy Dale, Terry Scott, Brain Fade, and Silver Bullet. Nice run for the 33 as well. Not sure when the last time he showed up was. Might have been, like, Daytona.
Dewey was the dummy that was like, yeah, they're going to all stay together. And guess what? They didn't.
Well, they stayed together a little better than they did the first time. Looks like Nelly and Eli are on the road. I think Nelly may have gotten a penalty because I know he pit in with those front. I think he pit with Magoo, so not sure what happened there. Ken Hansen on his own has kind of been there all night. And then Zach just trying to do anything. And then DJ Champ here in 15th with Wiley King down the back. I still don't know what the move there was for him, but he's on the lead lap, so if they do wreck right now and they have a restart, he's got a decent shot, but as it stands right now, kind of a disappointing end to what looked like it could be a great night. All eyes back up at the front. Magoo still leading it here going into turn 4. Coming to 7 laps to go at the line. We're down towards the end where you're going to see a lot more blocking, a lot more shuffling out, a lot more moving around. Obviously, kind of hard to do that with 5 cars, but this is when you'll see it.
I mean, we're coming down to the end of it.
We are.
I'm excited right now because I like what we got here at the front. We got a couple guys that haven't won a race yet this year. At the front of the train, at the back of the train. Then you got 3 guys that have, you know, Tyler's, of course, won the most races this year at 4. Ricky J's won the second most. He's got 2. And then Brian Voiles won the season opener at Daytona. Similar racetrack, of course, sister racetrack to this one here in Talladega. Oh boy. Ricky J looking to the outside. He's going to try to take his teammate with him. Oh no, the caution's out. Never mind. I can't see apparently.
And now, why is the caution out? This is very interesting, actually. We're going to end up with like a 3 to go restart now.
Did the Ford blow up?
I think it did. Yeah, it looks like Silver Bullet has lost an engine, Joe.
You're going to see a little puff of smoke. He shuts it off right away.
Man. I'm very surprised that was a caution. Must have dropped a lot of fluid out on the track.
A lot of fluid.
Looks like it listed as a piston issue there for the 4, and that's really a shame. Qualified second, ran up front for a great portion of the beginning of the race, and now he doesn't have a chance to race for it at the end, and from no fault of his own. I'm sure not what that pack of 5 up at the front wanted to see. Hoping that they could just race this out on their own. Now they're going to have to deal with everybody bunched up again.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, for everybody 6th on back, I'm sure they're thrilled, and we've got guys topping off on fuel here.
They're not topping off, Dewey. They're putting tape on the grill.
Are they now?
Yep.
Interesting either way that you give up track position with what's going to be either a 2 or 3 to go restart. I mean, yeah, it's Talladega, but it's only 2 laps, or 3. Quite the gamble by Nelly and crew there on pit road. So this has made things very, very interesting.
Yeah. A little bit.
It was definitely looking like it would be a battle of 5 at the end for the win. And a piston blowing on the 4 car has created a situation
A situation.
where the entire field,
Dewey says.
will be here
A situation.
on the lead lap at the end. A situation indeed.
Situation. What kind of situation we talking about?
Potentially a 2 to go situation.
Situation.
We'll have to see when exactly the when the pace lights go out.
Upcoming races here on JTN, presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Hey, that's you, Dewey.
Yeah.
Next race up. Tune in 6 nights from tonight, Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series heads to the Infineon Raceway. Coverage kicking off 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series is at Infineon Raceway on Thursday, 1 week from tonight, 9:05. And the Bomb Squad Racing, you guessed it, Xfinity Series, live from the Infineon Raceway, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more are going to be live right here only on JTN.
BSR Infineon triple header.
Kathy saying Brian and Ricky in the top 5, and she's rooting for Magoo out there in front.
So the pace lights did not go out here, which means they're going to pace for another lap after this.
So
That means a 2 to go restart.
Yes.
Oh, baby. They'll have to make sure they do turn off next time. If they stay on another lap, then it'll be a 1-lap shootout, and that would really be something. We saw a couple weeks ago, 1-lap shootouts at plate tracks don't always go that well. Looking at you, Arca. But I have confidence in these guys. They know what they're doing. And some of those Arca guys knew what they were doing, but some of them, maybe not.
Arca?
Yeah,
You like Arca?
I do. But man, did they wreck it up on that last lap.
Well, they were trying. What do you want to see here, Dewey?
I want to see them make it to the white flag under green is what I want to see.
Dewey
That
wants,
is
Dewey
more
wants him
than
to
anything,
race it
that is
out.
what I want to see. And will the pace lights turn off?
Yes.
Yes, they will. So we will have a 2-lap dash to determine our winner here for tonight. Magoo trying to be the spoiler here tonight and steal one away from everybody else in that 144. Tyler trying to break what for him might be a long winless streak here at a whopping 2 races. Ricky J trying to go 2 in a row. Brian Voiles trying to go 2 in a row at the plate tracks. And Jimmy Dale there in the 33 going to restart in 5th. Be a real feel-good story if he can pull it off here tonight as well.
And talk about Terry Scott there in 6th, Brain Fade 7th, Eli in 8th.
DJ Champ got the break he needed. He's back in 10th now after it was looking very bleak for him. Gonna need some stuff to go right, but he's in a better spot than he was 5 laps ago. So, quite a few guys here that haven't won in a bit that would be pretty dang cool if they did.
Still curious as to the thought process from the 28. He was running 5th. He came down pit lane, put some tape on the grill. That's my assumption that I'm running with, but gonna be starting all the way out back.
16th.
Yeah.
I think Nelly had fallen back there a bit anyway, but Mac Daddy gave up an awful lot of track position for that, and he's only got 2 laps to try to make it up. But if the caution comes back out, he's only going to have, well, he won't
A
at all.
lap, right?
Yeah, he'll have like maybe 200 feet. So quite the risk there for that 28, but we'll see if it works.
Oh, Magoo with control here for the restart. Coming to 2 laps to go. A green, white, checkered finish here from Talladega. What more could you ask for on a Thursday night? Magoo with control into the restart zone. And back away we will go. Green flag, 2 to go here from Talladega.
Back green for the final time tonight, whether it ends under green or not. There will not be another restart after this.
Who might have got too big of a lead. He's up the track in the middle, gonna come down and block the 18 as we head through turns 1 and 2.
Honestly, if I'm Magoo, I'm just parking it on the bottom. Even if you don't win, I'm keeping it on the bottom the entire time, just hoping not a lot of people pass. And look at the, oh my gosh!
Ryan Voiles getting to the inside of teammate Ricky J. They're battling for third.
Yeah, they almost ended up turning each other, almost more contact there going into 3. I think the 68's trying to side draft as much as he can. Down there all on his own, but he's still making progress, Joe, out of 4.
He needs some help. He needs brain fade in that 49 to get there quick. He's trying to lock in that 18 car down on the bottom. Here comes Tyler Mallon with the run. He is clear of the 68. What can the 18 do to try to win this race here tonight?
Ricky J on the low side.
Here comes Ricky J. White flag in the air. Death Craver 1 to go. Check out the new novel by Zach Rogers, now available on Amazon. Death Craver here on your Death Craver 1 to go. Ricky J looking for the lead on the bottom.
And Magoo comes down to block that 93. That's exactly what he needs to do. Comes back up and blocks the 18. Comes back down to block the 93. Moved a little too much. He's blocking everywhere. That's what you have to do late in these races to try to keep everybody behind you. But now the 18 inches ahead as they try to wreck behind him.
Oh, they're wrecking behind him, but we are racing.
Oh, and Eli is upside down.
We are racing back
Big
to the
crash.
line.
Huge crash. Was up and over. Monty Cower's in it, but they're racing back. Caution's out. Doesn't matter. DJ Champ is around. Ken Hansen is around. Who's left in the field is coming back through the tri-oval. Jimmy Dale's got one last chance. He's not going to get there, and it's going to be Tyler Mallon taking it here on the high banks at Talladega. What a finish. Tyler Mallon taking home the dub.
We got a couple wrecks.
There was big wrecks too. The 21, the 114, the 028, they all went flying into the air in some capacity.
Here's the first one. Here's the second one.
Golly. Yeah, Eli ended up hitting the fence there in that 114. Ken Hansen got a lot of air as well.
And Tyler Mallon plays, not spoiler, but maybe feel good spoiler. He'll get spurted down. He's your race winner here tonight from Talladega. 5th win on the year.
The 5th win of the year, but for the two guys that finished directly behind him, this might feel like a win for them too. I mean, Jimmy Dale, not full-time here, came back here tonight at Talladega and ends up getting 2nd place here with a very solid chance of winning. And Magoo, who we saw doing everything he could to try to keep everyone behind him, kept all but 2 back there, and a very, very impressive podium finish for him when all the dust settled.
So we'll work to get results on your screens here at home, folks, in mere moments. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Again, doing so helps support us so much. We're going to talk with our top 3 finishers here. Let's go ahead and start by talking with... Who do you want to talk to first, Dewey?
I think we should go in order or the finishing order.
Wow.
1 to 3.
How creative.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start by talking with the driver of the number 18 Interstate Batteries. Toyota leads a race-high 21 laps here tonight. That's nothing new. Being in victory lane, nothing new for this driver, Tyler Mallon. Tyler, you got a copy?
I got a copy, Joe.
All right, winner, winner, chicken dinner again. This one, though, was a little bit different, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I was actually planning on just staying with the 144 to the end of the race. He and I were gonna hook up and drive by the 93 on the outside. Then he went low and kind of lost his momentum a little bit, and I couldn't lift without wrecking the field. So it is. I mean, I'm glad I got the win. I'm
right.
not gonna complain about that.
Right.
It was gonna be fun. pushing him around. But yeah, it was a very clean race. It was a lot of fun going out there and drafting with all these guys. Had a very fast 18 Interstate Batteries Camry, and definitely looking forward to coming back and doing this again next time we come here.
Are you like slapping your crew down there on pit lane or something? What was that?
What? What do you mean?
You're like slapping I heard the clicking and you're like slapping somebody.
Oh no, I've got a pen in my hand that's like kind of.
What the heck?
Doing this.
Signing autographs down here in Victory Lane too. But
No.
Tyler, 5th win on the year. I mean, I ask you all the generic questions all the time. So what does it mean to you though to have wins? I mean, you have wins on pretty much every type of track we visited so far. Of course, first road course of the year is coming up next week. But what does it mean to be able to have the wins on numerous different track types?
It means a lot. It's important to be very well-rounded in your with your setup arsenal and with your driving. I feel like I'm getting to that point where we can come and compete at a lot of types of tracks. I haven't actually won a race, a non-plate race at a track bigger than Atlanta though, so I'm kind of hoping to get one at either Indy, Pocono, Michigan, or Fontana later this season.
Only
But,
you
we'll
would know that off the top of your head.
We'll see what comes around.
Only you would
when
know
we get
that.
there.
Only
Why?
you would be like, oh yeah, I haven't won at a track bigger than 1.5 miles that isn't a plate track. Like, what a random stat, Tyler. Come on.
I'm full of random stats about
Apparently.
Did you know that no driver in Bomb Squad history has ever won from the pole at Chicagoland?
That's
Another interesting one.
Wow. I'm going to save that little nugget for later. But Tyler, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. It's always a pleasure talking with you. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. As always, you got great partners on the car. You got great folks to shout out. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Well, first off, thank you to you guys for broadcasting this fantastic race, as always. You guys do a fantastic job. And thanks to Interstate Batteries for being on the car. Magoo for being a great drafting partner all the way through the last 10, 15 laps, however many it was. And everyone in this field for always racing so clean, as always.
Tyler, again, as always, can't thank you enough for your time. Seems like we make a weekly habit of it, but I don't think you got to talk with us the past 2 weeks. So good to hear your voice again. Congratulations on a win here tonight. It's always a pleasure getting to get some knowledge from you, that big old brain of yours, and can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much.
Tyler Mallon, driver the number 18, your race winner here tonight from Talladega. Let's go ahead and next head down onto the pit lane and talk with our second place finisher. He's the driver of the number 33, BSR Jimmy Dale. Jimmy Dale, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Come on.
Hey, man, I mean, where did you come from at the end of that race to finish second? What the heck was that?
I just kind of laid in the back and tried to lay it in the back, not run with the crowd. And that last pit stop, I put up went to 75 tape, and I didn't go back in and change it. And I just needed a little drafting back there for somebody to help me. That was all.
How one, how good does it feel to finish up here on the podium in this race tonight? 2, how do you keep committed to that strategy? Because I know for a lot of drivers, they hate running around at the back. It makes them feel icky. But at the end of the day, it's the smart thing to do, right? Because it keeps you out of these incidents.
Well, I tried to run up in the middle of the pack, and I get wrecked or wreck somebody, and I said, I'm going to just stay in the back and knock to about halfway. Once this halfway, I'm going to try to make a move, and I kind of moved up to halfway.
And then finishing up on the podium, that has to feel so dang good. Was there anything you could have done different there to maybe get a run on the 18, or was it kind of he did a good job of looking out of his rear view and keeping in front of you guys?
Well, I had a push. If I could have got back Magoo just a little bit faster, because I had to back out of it and go into it again. I lost him a little bit of momentum there. I would have had a chance to get him if Magoo had backed up just a little bit on me.
Well, Jimmy Dale, second place, still a great finish nonetheless. Congratulations on that. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Got a pretty dang cool partner on the hood of the race car. Know you got some great folks to shout out. The floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
Yeah, Burn that does contract sales. They help out on things, and they've been a sponsor for 2 years now. Going to stick with them. Did you hear me?
Yep. Anyone else you want to shout out?
I don't even know which car I used when I was inside the car.
Well, Jimmy Dale, again, man, congratulations on a great finish here tonight. Man, it's such a pleasure to get to talk with you. Hope we get to talk with you more throughout the year. Know you're making limited starts here and there. And again, great talking with you. Hope to be talking with you again soon, and can't thank you enough for your time.
Yeah, work's kept me kind of busy this year so far. So hopefully after tomorrow night, I'll get a little break.
Heck yeah. BSR Jimmy Dale, driver the number 33, your second place finisher here tonight. Thanks, man.
Thanks, enjoy it, Joe.
Let's go ahead. You got results on your screens now at home. Let's go ahead and finally talk with our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 144 Chevrolet, BSR Magoo. Magoo, buddy, what's up? Third place finisher.
Hey, how you doing, Joe? Good to be in the booth finally for a second or two.
Man, I'd be lying. I'd be doing all the fans at home a disservice if, you know, I said I wasn't rooting for you there at the end. I was hoping you'd be able to hold them off. I gotta ask, though, what happened there off of turn one on the last lap?
I just, the bottom was trying to almost get formed and get a good run. And we'd already kind of made a commitment to stay high. And for some reason, I just thought I wanted to go down there and put my foot in the water and test. And I got really light and just about lost control. So I was glad to salvage what I did. But I give props to Tyler. He was pushing me great. I'm the one that busted up the game plan there at the end and suffered for it. But what a night. It was a great race.
No, it was some great racing out there. And I mean, I think taking responsibility for that's really hard to do, right? I mean, I see the move. Dewey and I kind of called it as, hey, he sees, like you said, that inside line's forming up. You got to protect your positioning there. You're trying to stay out in front. It's an aggressive move, and sometimes the aggressive moves don't always work out, right? But kind of speak to how important and how good does it feel to have led the laps here tonight, be in that position to win the race here tonight. How good does that feel, especially knowing all the work you put in here and all the stuff you do behind the scenes, but to have that good finish here tonight in this race at Talladega?
And it feels great. That, first off, that's my best enjoyment. Just the caliber of guys that come in here and associate with us and the brotherhood we have. That's a win for me every night. And just to even get a top 10 with this group is really difficult. So to get on the podium, it's incredibly difficult, even though, there's a handful of guys that can seem to find their way up there. You really got to be on the edge of your seat and commit, just fully focusing on the race with these guys. And, it just feels great, Joe, to be able to be up front and to lead a few laps and be in a position to where I almost got me a win tonight, but I made a mistake and lost some position for it, but we recovered and had a great time.
Oh, that's always great to hear. Magoo, too, I want to give you the opportunity, because I always do this when we're talking with admins, kind of league hosts and owners and whatnot, when you're up here in the booth after the race. For someone out there that's, they're maybe on the fence about joining or coming and finding out more about what you guys got going out here at Bomb Squad, what would you tell them about what's the reason they should come race here with you guys at BSR?
Well, thank you for that, Joe. There's really a lot of great clubhouses out here, but we try to stay family oriented, where we try to get involved in each other's lives and get on a more personable level. Like I said, there's a really good number of clubs out here to join, but if you're trying to find a brotherhood or something, and as you can tell, we've got the competition level that's off the chart. But that's the difference where we try to separate ourselves, man, is just we're all friends, we're all brothers, we get involved in each other's lives. And a lot of time practice on the track, a lot of time practicing, helping each other out in life. So that's what we are about here at Bomb Squad Racing.
Well, Magoo, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Before we let you go, I'm going to give you one final chance. Anyone you want to shout out or thank? I know you got some great partners on the car and whatnot, but before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Oh, absolutely, man. First and foremost, man, can't thank Kathy Bulls and Brian Bulls enough for all they put into this clubhouse and sponsoring the races they do. And, yourself, Joe, and Weaver, which y'all do for us at JTN with your broadcast. You've really taken some horrible races we've had, and you still make us look, pretty good. And you keep the crowd entertained. And it's a job for everybody. So it's, this is payday, Thursday night, broadcast night. Get a chance to come out and have some fun and have some words with everybody. So thank you for that. Thank you for your coverage. And again, a big shout out to Kathy Bulls and Brian Bulls. And man, I can't get off here without thanking Tyler enough, man. He pushed me. I whipped them boys coming off the last pit stop. That's kind of how we packed up there. And in fact, I told him to take the lead, and he said, "No, I'm pushing you all the way." So that's my fault at the end. Thanks again, Tyler. We'll hook up again, and Ricky J. Thank you, guys.
Magoo, again, congratulations on a great finish. It's always a pleasure getting the opportunity to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time after this one. Hope we're talking with you again soon after one of these races, man. And again, congratulations on the great finish here tonight from Talladega.
Thank you, Joe.
BSR Magoo, driver of the 144, third place finisher here tonight. Dewey, man, that's going to wrap up our coverage. The heart breaks, but man, to take responsibility for that finish, that's probably one of the toughest things to do for a driver. And, Magoo did it. Tyler Mallon got the win at the end of the day. Win number 5 on the year, and we'll move on to next week and Finian and go road course racing and have some more fun out on the West Coast.
Oh, absolutely. And again, even though Magoo came up a little bit short, I mean, third place is still a great result for him. And we talked to Jimmy Dale, second, a hell of a night for him as well. A great race overall. And we got a 3-pack of good ones coming up too, so the vibes are great.
A value pack,
here,
if you will, next week.
3 for the price of 1, which is 0.
Well, yeah, for the fans at home.
Extra, watch all about it.
Yeah, watch. Make sure you tune in at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, first week of March. Tomorrow's March 1st. It was our first leap day race on JTN, so we can't thank you enough for being a part of that. Wish we would have promoted that more, but we're weird. As always, can't thank Brian and Kathy Voiles Trucking enough for their sponsorship of not only our broadcasts here on JTN, for what we do here on JTN, and also for their partnership and sponsorship of the Bomb Squad Racing League as a whole. We again can't thank you folks enough at home for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, again, drop a like on the video and subscribe. It does so much to help support us. Also, check out our other content we have over on JTN2, Fake Racers Podcast. New episode came out. You can listen on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Fake Racers Podcast. You can hear more from me, Davey Hazard, Matthew Steelman, about the world of NASCAR racing primarily, but we'll talk F1, IndyCar as the year goes on. And get you prepped and get you our opinions, because our opinions are pretty cool sometimes. We have some pretty fun conversations over there and try to bring up some new and interesting thoughts. But again, folks, we can't thank you enough for tuning in, and can't thank you enough, as always, for all of your support. We're heading to March. Hope you have a great Friday, a great weekend. We hope to see you guys next week. And for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague, Dewey Schramm, I've been JoeTowNetwork. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up, off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Check it out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back.
No.
The wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop.
Oh my
Oh,
Ricky
big
J
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
The leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard in the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
Through the north north, shoot, they'll go. The 24's into the wall, almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact, turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling fashion.